How's everyone doing? All right, at least one thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Okay, so if we were not here, well, actually, let me back up. So Legacy, are folks familiar with Legacy, the Truth Campaign? Anyone know the Truth Campaign? A few people? So that's where Brittany and I work, although we don't actually work on the Truth Campaign ourselves. This is the kind of work that we do. We love to come travel and visit with people and work with people, folks like you who are doing this kind of work all the time, okay? So for us, it's a real honor to be here, and I want to thank Dina for inviting us. We're so happy to be here. And the other thing is I do a lot of work, or I used to do a lot of work with Native people from the Pacific. And one of the things that I learn is to say before I do a presentation is to say that, you know, I come here with a pure heart and my goal is to do the right thing, but sometimes we all make a mistake. And so my intent is never to offend anyone by anything that I say or make anyone feel badly. So in advance, I ask for forgiveness if I do that. And you know, you can either let me know that I said something that was offensive, like while I'm up here, or you can tell me later, okay? So if you did not know why you were here today, right? It was just like a school, what do you call, when you go to the auditorium, what are those called? Assembly, a school assembly, that sort of thing. And I were to have these, what would you think these are? Crayons? Markers? Maybe if you saw this, this one in a girl's backpack, like a lip gloss, a lipstick, yeah, right? So what are these actually? These are actually small cigars. So I'm gonna hold one up. Some of them fall out, so I gotta be careful which one I open. These are small little cigars, okay? Kind of scary, to me at least. Especially if you have teenagers and you see these in a backpack, then maybe you'll know what it is. So this one's strawberry flavored. This one is a peach flavor. What flavor is this? Grape. And oops. Actually mint, right? So who's probably gonna like these flavors? Kids, right? So I'm gonna pass these around. We need these back because we don't want, Brittany and I don't want our boss to say, hey, did you guys smoke the cigars? So I do need them back. We don't want to get fired. Okay. What else do I have? If there were only adults in the room, I would say, is it too early for happy hour? These are Appletini small cigars. Kind of scary to me also. Appletini, they have like pina colada flavor, they have Cosmo flavor, all those adult drink flavors. Is there a question?
How long have these been on the market?
How long have these been on the market? Small cigars have been around from the 70s, but I think it's been in the last several years, like the last, I don't know, 5, 10 years, that these small cigars have become more and more popular. Yeah, the candy flavors, right? So in most states, like a pack of cigarettes, a regular pack of cigarettes, the tax can be kind of high, at least in some states. So with the small cigars, first of all, you can buy one in most states. In most places, you can buy just the one, which is going to be a lot cheaper, right? Here, so I'll pass a few of these around. I think one is strawberry or cherry, one is grape. And they're not taxed at the same rate, so they're much cheaper. One of my colleagues bought a pack of 20 small cigars in Tennessee. This is probably about 5 years ago for 99 cents. 20 small cigars a pack. So if cigarettes become more expensive, who's less likely to buy tobacco? Right, younger people, right? The commercial tobacco. What's this one?
Jerky.
Ah, see, you're supposed to, I was trying to set you up for failure so that you would say, you know, the chew tobacco. So the green one is chew tobacco, and the other one is the beef jerky. So who do you think those little things of beef jerky are for? Kids, like little boys, right? Who want to have one just like, you know, they want to be like their dad, which can be obviously be a good thing, and they want to carry those around. So someone mentioned e-cigarettes, right? So here's one I'll pass around. I actually have a few. This one is chocolate, and it says sleep better. Anyone? Not necessarily if you're not a good sleeper. Someone might be tempted by these. What?
Just randomly has melatonin.
Yeah. One is called Nutrisig. How many? Some people maybe have seen the commercials with Jenny McCarthy or Cartney, whatever her name is, right? The blue ones, the blue e-cigs. So this one is fine, but I took one out once to show to people, and it had leaked a little bit. And I just got a little bit on my finger, like barely anything, and I could feel my brain, like it was really crazy. So these are kind of scary, especially with the little ones, like little children around. So Coco and I went to e-cigarette store yesterday. They had like cotton candy flavor, all these crazy flavors. Again, is that appealing to someone like who's a grandma?
No.
No, right? So what's their goal? Who are they trying? All right, so who's that? Santa Claus. What's Santa doing? Smoking and promoting tobacco. What do you all think of that?
In different languages too, because it's
Yeah.
like, I think it's German.
It's actually Turkish.
Turkish, okay.
Yeah. So what do you think of Santa trying to sell tobacco? Anyone at this table? What do you guys think of that? Not right. He's also probably selling liquor at the store next door. But this was actually taken in the country of Turkey. So certainly tobacco and commercial tobacco is not just an issue here, right? If the smoking rate is going down in this country, where do you think it's going up? Everywhere else, other countries, right? So this is a store. I don't know where it's at, but I see the WIC sign. So it probably means it's in a neighborhood with, where people are using WIC. So if this is the door to open the door to go into the store, there's this little cool camel down here. Who's going to be seeing that?
Small children.
Small children, right?
You're like, oh, look at the appealing camera.
Right? So if you were like a 4-year-old going into this store once a week, what are you going to remember about that store?
The camel.
Yeah, the camel, right? So this is does anyone know what this is called, where there's like a whole big area with tobacco?
It's called a big nasty.
A big nasty? That's one way to put it. What else? Anyone from this table back here? It's called a power wall. Power wall, right? So if you're the tobacco industry, that's how you can promote your products. It's hard to miss that, right? And again, when I think of the shortest people down here, so if this is the counter, right? These are the cheaper products, the cigars that I was showing you guys. Those are at the lowest level, right?
Real taste. Well, I'm glad
Again,
they're real.
e-cigarettes, and what are they next to?
Other stick forms of candy and goods.
Right? Other candy. Who's gonna be interested in those Mentos?
Me.
Kids, right? Who likes the Slim Jims? Yeah? Right? So what do you think of e-cigarettes being sold next to what you like? What do you think of having e-cigarettes sold next to what you like? That's just icky. Exactly. A lot of places, the cigarettes are behind the counter. So like if you go to a store, the cigarettes are behind the counter. Guess where the small cigars are?
Right next to the sunglasses.
Right next to the sunglasses, right next to the candy, but in front of the counter. What kind of message does that send?
Hey, small children, buy my cheap product.
Hey, small children, buy my what?
Cheap product.
My cheap product. So I looked up the top flavors, like the candy flavors. So actually, in all of these flavors, you can get small cigars and e-cigarette juice, right? All of these flavors, but some of the most popular ones are strawberry. So these are the ones I could find. These are all e-cigarette flavors. So there's blueberry, great grape, sour apple, strawberry, and juicy peach. Is that going to appeal to your grandma?
Maybe.
Maybe. But mostly who's it going to appeal to? Young kids, right? Exactly. More, there's cherry, banana, blast, apple, strawberry, and mint. Yeah, it says menthol. Again, right next to like the M&Ms, the ranch flavored sunflower seeds.
Same rack. Be allowed.
Right? And look at all those different flavors. There are over how many e-cigarette juice flavors are there?
Hold on.
No. In the world, like in the United States, not just there. A million? Maybe not quite a million. How many? How many? How many thousands? 8,000. Over 8,000 different flavors. And people also like to mix them, right? But it's like I said, I got just that little bit of liquid on my finger, and I could feel it in 30 seconds. I could feel it in my head. So these we already kind of saw. I have some of the candy cigarettes also, right?
Those are big. They're like chalk.
Yeah, they're like pieces of chalk. But there's machismo, which is kind of like the old Marlboro Man. And then there's Roller Girl, right? In case you don't want the machismo one. So why would a child want one of those? Right? Because they want to be like one of the grown-ups, maybe? So again, some of the candy-flavored cigars, what are those near?
The real ones.
The candy eggs, right? The candy Easter eggs. So a few years ago, Adidas came out with these sneakers, and basically they were designed to be just like one of the brands of cigars. Right?
Well, what I can say about that is,
Yes.
they are trying to appeal to their customers.
Right? They're trying to appeal to their customers.
I mean,
Right? You can have a hat, you can have some sneakers, and you can have a cigar.
you're cool.
That are all matching.
They're all matching. Again, I just, all the way down to the floor. So again, little kids is what I think about.
Then the beer.
And you can have some beer while you're at it.
What? No.
So again, right, one of those power, exactly. Exactly. So who do you think this is appealing to and why?
Real talk. Graffiti artist.
Graffiti artists, so younger people maybe, right? The hashtag, who's mostly on Twitter and stuff? Teenagers, but younger people, right? Is your grandma on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe, but probably appealing to younger people. So what's the tobacco industry doing?
Trying to get younger kids.
Trying to get younger kids? They need new customers, right? Yesterday was Kick Butts Day. The theme was, I'm not a replacement. What are you not replacing? Other smokers, right? Did anyone participate in Kick Butts Day yesterday? Yeah. But they're getting ready to come here?
I can say I did not smoke either.
So,
I didn't do.
All right.
I didn't do no.
Okay. So, I think the video is one powerful way to, I don't know how to stop this, one powerful way to make your message, right? I think even just pictures is another way. How many folks have heard of photo voice? The idea of photo voice? So one way you can do this is you get your group right here to go around your community to take pictures in terms of how you see tobacco being promoted, being sold to younger people, being sold to the community, or the different products that people are using, right? Just so through your eyes, how you see tobacco as an issue. And then you can create, blow up the pictures and create a gallery and invite your elected officials Invite other people who have influence in your town and show them your, invite them into your gallery and talk about how you see tobacco, how it concerns you, what you'd like to see happen, and so forth. So these are just using images, right? So all of us like to see images. Sometimes we get tired from reading, but using images is a good way, or having a video of your rap, whatever it is. You can have a video screening in your community to show the adults and other people who can maybe make a difference how you see tobacco, commercial tobacco, in your community. So this was just one example, okay? So I'm going to hand it over to Whitney. Yeah.
I found it, yep.
Okay.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got something for you. Y'all want to be quiet with me? I got something. I got a game that I'm going to play real quick. Let me find it. Before I do this, though, seriously, if I can have your attention, before I do this, I just want to thank you so much for the invitation. I really appreciate being able to come up here. It's really an incredibly beautiful area, and I've had the chance to kind of sit back and watch everybody. I'm a people watcher. I watch everything. I watch everything, and I barely miss stuff. But I see how already engaged each of you are, how attentive you are, how you already are understanding the aspects of tobacco, both traditional and commercial. And so give yourselves a big round of applause because you are certainly the cream of the crop. This is my assistant. All right, so here's what I need you to do because I know the day's going on. Y'all got a lot of information. We're not done yet. I want to do just a quick little physical activity kind of thing. It's not really related to tobacco. It is not, necessarily profound or anything like that. But I'm going to read to you a story. I know you're excited about that. I'm going to read to you a story, but there's going to be something. There's going to be something that you're going to have to do when I read to you. All right. So I'll use two words over and over again. One word is going to be right. One word is going to be left. Ha, gotcha. So when I say right, this is now this is important that you get these directions because they're incredibly difficult. When I say right, you're going to turn to the right. When I say left, you're going to turn to the left. Yes, you will. You'll turn to the left. Everybody stand up.
This will be interesting.
Face first, or?
Face in whichever direction you want to.
I'm just going to face this way.
I'm going to stand up here because this is the only time I get to be tall. All right. Somebody caught it. This is the story of Mr. and Mrs. Wright. One evening, they were baking cookies. Mrs. Wright called from the kitchen, "Oh no, there's no flour left. You'll need to go right out to the store." "I can't believe you forgot to check the pantry," grumbled Mr. Wright. "You never get anything right." "Don't be difficult, dear," replied Mrs. Wright. "It will only take you 20 minutes if you go to the store and come right back. Go to 51st and Magnolia, turn left at the stop sign, then go to 61st Street, turn right, and it will be on your left," declared Mrs. Wright as her husband left the house.
All right.
Mr. Wright made his purchase and walked right out of the door. He turned left but couldn't remember where he left his car. Suddenly, he remembered that he had driven Mrs. Wright's car and that his car was in the driveway at home right where he had left it. No, y'all, let me read that one again. Mr. Wright made his purchase and walked right out of the door. He turned left, but he couldn't remember where he left his car. Suddenly, he remembered that he'd driven Mrs. Wright's car and that his car was in the driveway right where he had left it. Huh? He finally found the right car and put his purchase right inside. Eventually, a weary Mr. Wright found his way home. Mrs. Wright had been waiting impatiently. She said, I thought you were going to the store and coming right back. I left all the cookie ingredients out on the counter and the cat got into the milk.
All right. Congratulations.
You'll just have to go right back out again. Mr. Wright sighed. He was tired because he had no energy left. He said, I'm going right up to bed. Anyway, I need to go and start a diet. I may as well start right now. Isn't that right, dear? And then Mr. Wright went upstairs and closed his room and went right to sleep. Now I made that last part up. Okay, give yourselves a big hand. All right. So, all right. No, I'm done.
I was.
Okay. So some of the things that I like to do when I go out and do these presentations is I kind of start talking, and I start talking to kind of see where you are and to see if you're going to talk while I talk. Because if I'm talking and I purposely talk lower, because when you talk lower, that makes people try and listen harder and harder to what you're saying. And I'm convinced that even if I whisper, you'll hear me. All right, so what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about media and the power of media. You know, Laura teed it up real well for me. Basically, again, we work with Legacy, and one of the things that Legacy is really known for around the country is the Truth Campaign. And the Truth Campaign has really, over the past 18 months or so, gone through this transformation where we're trying to basically create a movement, basically motivate young people, teens across the country just like you to join our movement and to become that first generation of young people that pledge to finish it for good. As a matter of fact, this X pin that I'm wearing that I got for each of you is basically like a pledge. You wear it as a badge of honor that says that you are a finisher, that you'll be among the first to pledge to having that first tobacco-free generation. And so the Truth Campaign is really, really exciting. I'm going to show you a little bit and walk through some stuff. Okay, first of all, no, I'm not going to play the game. First of all, nope, I'm not going to show you all that either. First of all, when you think about the purpose, when you think about the purpose of media, what are some of the purposes of media? Tell me. Purpose. What's the purpose behind it? Interact with people. Transfer. You saw my slide. What? Did you see my slide? Okay, he said transfer information. All right. Anybody else? Wait, what? What did you say? What? Who said that? Entertainment? Did you see my slide? Both of you are on my list. All right, information, entertainment. What did you say? You forgot, huh? It was good, though.
He said Facebook.
No, he said something else after that. Interaction with people. She said talking to people that you don't normally see or interact with. That's very good. Anybody else? There are really three basic points. Yes.
Stay connected with what's going on.
Stay connected what's going on. There really, when you look at media, there are a lot of purposes, but for the purposes of this presentation, I've narrowed it down to 3 points. 1, to entertain. 2, to inform. And 3, to educate. When you think about media or you know, things that you see that relate to media, it really comes down to 3 different sections. 1, to entertain. 2, to inform or educate. And 3, to make a profit when you think of big tobacco, right? Shoot out some examples of media that you've seen that's been entertaining. YouTube. Anybody seen some funny videos on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah. Anybody ever heard of like Alpha Cat and all of those people? No. What's that guy's name? Ghetto Deer?
Oh, yeah.
No. Tell me about it. Can you tell me about it?
I'm not going to tell you about it, but
You'll tell me about it offside. Okay. All right. Anybody else got some entertainment? Seen some media that was used to entertain? Huh? Like games, right? Apps and all of that kind of stuff, and games on the internet for fun. What about you?
Social media.
Social media, right? Who's on Instagram? Follow me at Whitney C. All right, and my bad. Yeah, and who's on Facebook? Yeah, who's on Twitter? Who's on Twitter and not on Instagram? Okay. Who's on Facebook but not on Twitter? Who's on Facebook but not on Instagram? Who's on Instagram? Who's on Bebo?
Oh, what?
You on Bebo for real? People still use that? Oh, okay.
Foursquare still.
Foursquare. Yeah. I mean, these things change like the wind, for real. MySpace. Who's on MySpace?
Yeah.
You don't have a MySpace. You have a MySpace for real? I don't remember my password. So, all right. I would give you my username, but I don't remember my password. So the purposes of media were, again, to entertain, to inform or to educate, also to make a profit. What about to inform or educate? Have you ever seen some media that was used to inform or educate?
Some history channels.
History Channel stuff. What do they tell you about?
Well, a lot of the stuff that Papa watches is about the Civil War or different wars throughout history.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw another hand. Yes, ma'am. They use, what's that? Oh, photography. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody ever saw, to inform or to educate, anybody ever heard of Smokey the Bear? Yeah. What does he talk about? Only you can prevent forest fires. That's what he said. Only you can prevent forest fires. And so that's to inform you about the danger of lighting a fire in a dry forest, right? So also the Truth Campaign informs you and educates you about the dangers of tobacco or commercial tobacco and that kind of thing. And then the next one is to make a profit. Now, I'm going to give you a test. Before I get to big tobacco, I'm going to give you a test and see how you do on this. Now, you have to help me out here.
To help you on your own test?
Help me on my own test. $5. Okay, so what were they trying to do? They were trying to make a profit, right?
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I love it.
Yeah, what were they trying to do? Make a profit. And just like all of those people try to make profits with what they do, like when you're up at night and you can't sleep and you see all those crazy commercials about you have to buy this juicer and you put an apple in it and it'll make you 15 glasses of juice from one apple and you just have to go and buy it. That's what that's about. It's about trying to entice you to make a profit. And so, huh? I know those commercials too. My credit card knows them also. All right. So when you look at the purposes of media, 3 purposes generally, right? What's the first one?
To entertain.
What's the second one?
To inform and educate.
What's the third one?
Make a profit.
Yeah. Got it?
Got it.
So there are different, nope, I'm not telling y'all that either.
Said something about print.
When you think about the types, though, what are some of the types of media that's out there? And we've kind of discussed it a little bit. Yeah.
There's the newspapers and print, and then there's the electronic devices such as social media and other things that people use.
All right, I'm just going to go straight to the slide. You're exactly right. So, hello. Hello.
What have you done?
Okay, here you go. Types of media. So there's print, which is newspapers and magazines. Broadcast, that's what you see on TV. Am I missing anything?
Music.
Social, right? You said social as well. So here's what I want to tell you about the New Truth Campaign. When Truth was launched in the year 2000, 23% of teens in the U.S. smoke today. Now that number is down to 8%. So, you know, there's been a lot of change out there. When you look at 23 all the way down to 8, that's a huge drop off. Even though that number's dropped off pretty significantly, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, which is clearly one of the reasons why each of you are here today. Here's who they're speaking to. They're speaking to all of you. They're speaking to folks in the age range of 15 to 21. Raise your hands for me if you are in that age range, 15 to 21. All right. If you're not in that age range, let me see your hands. How old are you?
13,
All right. How old are you?
13,
How old are you?
14,
How old are you?
13,
How old are you?
13.
How old are you? Uh-huh. We're still talking to you anyway. How about that?
Can't hurt them.
Exactly. And as I mentioned earlier, here's the idea to really rally around, to be the generation that ends smoking. And so the point of it is this. We don't want you just to come here and get information and sit on your hands, right? We don't want you to take all that information and hold it in your head and don't tell anybody about all of the great things that you've done this weekend, all of the things that you do in your own hometowns. What we want to do is ultimately give you some information that you can use back in your schools, back in your communities, back with your friends, back with your families, so that you can really be a part of this generation that ends smoking. Again, I told you our mission is to finish it, and we want you to be the finishers. So, just taking a look at who we are and how we speak to people, you know, what we are talking about is being a smoke-free generation. We're not trying to divide smokers and non-smokers against each other and have them go duke it out in a boxing ring somewhere. That's not what we do. We're about denormalizing the act of smoking versus being anti-smoking. You know, this is a generation where people text you versus somebody lecturing and preaching to you. And this is also the generation that's more provocative, that is more in your face than somebody who is just laid back. All of you are really a part of that generation that likes to be a part of a solution rather than just kind of sit around and let things happen. So that's who you all are, and that's how we like to engage. That's not going to work because it's not going to play. Now, I'll tell you about a couple of our ads before I show them to you. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I'll just do that. I'll take you through a couple of our ads. The first ad that I'll show you is Finishers. And Finishers is nothing's up there. Finishers is really a rallying cry to each of you to kind of join in the movement. The second ad that I'll show you are basically progress reports. And so what we wanted to do was kind of showcase that there's a lot of work that's happening across the country. Some of it is because of young people just like you. And so I'll probably either show you Florida. Yeah, I'll show you progress report on Florida, and maybe I'll do CVS. Anybody, do y'all have CVS pharmacies out in this area? CVS? CVS?
Say it slower and louder, maybe we can understand
Yeah.
better.
He said, listen, he said, say it slower and louder. Y'all know I'm from Louisiana, so sometimes things don't come out my mouth the right way. Here we go. CVS. Did I do it right?
Yes.
Pharmacy. Y'all have that up here?
I don't know.
Some areas. In Louisiana, we just got it about 3 years ago. All right, so CVS is this pharmacy chain. I think they are the second largest pharmacy chain in the country. When you look at Rite Aid, CVS, and then there was, what's the other? Walgreens. Walgreens is number one, CVS is number two, and Rite Aid is number three when you look at the big chain pharmacies in the country. All right, so CVS is number two. And they used to sell tobacco up until last October. They no longer sell tobacco because it was really odd that you can go in there to get medicine for your health, and then at the same time you can get tobacco to smoke, which is pretty much bad for your health. Certainly the commercial tobacco that they sold, right?
You go to this place to get asthma medicine.
Exactly. You can get your asthma pump filled in the back, and you can get Black and Milds in the front. Really odd. So I'll show you that, yes.
Didn't it say that the teen smoking rate in Florida was at 7%?
I'll show you that one. Yep. Yeah, that's actually in one of our progress reports. And then the other one that I'll show you is left swipe. Now, you've seen left swipe that?
Yeah.
Well, that's us.
That was just recently, too.
That was brand new with the Grammys.
Yeah.
Anybody ever heard of Tinder? You don't have to admit it. Just wink at me like this. Okay. And that's what that's a play on. Tinder is a mobile app that deals with people who are near you and all that kind of stuff. All right. So that's what. And so left swipe deals with rejection, because on that particular app, when you like what you see, you swipe right. And when you want to reject what you see, you swipe left.
Oh, it's on Urban Dictionary. It's awesome.
Yep. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. So I am going to show you. Is it still there?
It is.
I'm trying to get rid of it. All right. I'm going to show you truth finishers. That's the first one. And then I'll be out of your way.
Yes, I'm just touching.
Okay. Truth. Y'all stay with me now. Don't leave me just yet.
All right.
Don't go anywhere.
Big Tobacco has targeted trend-setting hipsters to sell cigarettes in the U.S.
You like that song?
Such bass.
Yeah, they use a lot of bass in there. Somebody said it's all about that bass. All right.
That's gonna autoplay again.
Nope, I'm getting rid of it. Stop that. Truth.
Stop that.
Welcome back to TMZ.
Oh, goodness.
Huge name, Rihanna, Orlando Bloom.
All right. The Truth Progress Report. Florida. You mentioned that. What's your name? All right. This is the one you referred to. Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's me at a party. Come on, States. Get on our level. Yeah.
So that deals with progress reports. And the notion behind progress reports is really that, you know, again, there's work that's happening all across the country. It's going to autoplay again, isn't it?
Ludicrous.
Please don't do that.
Cancel.
Stop.
Stop.
Got
You
it.
Play.
Did I?
Oh, it's an ad. Lucky.
All right. And the last one I want to show you is left swipe. And maybe you've seen some of these people before.
Gonna be a right swipe. This man just shaped his chest hair into a heart.
Aw.
That's Alpha Cat, that guy.
But I know she's not.
Oh, she's hot. That's a lollipop. Oh, that is not a lollipop. Left swipe.
Yeah, y'all know who he is? King Botch. Anybody seen him before? Y'all know who she is? Becky G?
That's King Batch.
Yep.
This David Lee.
I was wondering who that was. So it's directed by Michael Bay.
You knew those people?
No, I just knew the explosion. It's Michael Bay.
King Batch.
Okay.
The one with the MC Hammer
Sounds good.
pants is King Batch right there.
No, we're not going to do that today.
What?
All right. So,
I'm glad they did that.
That was entertaining.
That's left first.
Just shoot arrows out of your hand.
okay. So, really, the gist of it is this. There are different ways to get your point across.
That was entertaining.
Yeah, and so if you look at it, was that entertaining? Was it informative? Did you get some information about it? Were we out to try and make a profit?
No.
Nah, so that's the only one that we weren't really trying to do, but we were certainly trying to entertain while giving you some valuable information about how harmful commercial tobacco is. And so, really and truly, and we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, it's up to you to determine how you want to get that message across to your peers. A really good avenue in doing that clearly is through media. Social media is the easiest and least expensive way to do it, but there's also to try and do campaigns such as the one that we saw from LA that Laura previewed just a little while ago with the Little Cigars and Cigarillos project. And so, there are a lot of ways to get your message out. You have to think about it and determine what works for you in the area in which you live. But certainly, it's worth the try because we're closer than you think. Even though the number is at 8%, we're closer to finishing it than you think. And so I would encourage each of you to join the movement and do what you can to mobilize your peers in this effort. So I'll stop there. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
When are we going to get the pins?
Tomorrow. Question was, when are we going to get the pins? Tomorrow. Any other questions?
What about a comment?
Huh?
What about a comment?
Comment, I'll take that as well.
That 8% still better out of the trillions of people. There's a lot more people.
8%, yeah. I mean, that's still too many, right?
Still too many, but out of a trillion people.
A trillion?
Not quite a trillion, but still quite a lot more.
Yeah,
people than
a lot of people. Yeah, you're right. That tells you that we've made progress. Like over the years, young people like you have done a good job at advocating for policy change and doing other campaigns in the local area to help drive down those rates. Any other questions? All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.